Okay, question 6 now. This is a detail question. It says according to the text, and that's usually the hint that you're looking at a details question. So what is true about Eleanor? And as I look at the passage, I can see that we're dealing with Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. So this might be a challenging one. Let's have a look to see if that's indeed true. So Eleanor lives with her younger sisters and her mother, Mrs. Dashwood. The passage says, Eleanor, the eldest, which means the oldest daughter, whose advice was so effectual, so maybe it's useful, it's good, it's effective advice, possessed a strength of understanding. So she understood really well, and she had cool judgment, so she had good judgment, which qualified her, gave her the credibility or the qualifications, even though she was 19, so she's very young, to be the counselor of her mom. She gave her mom advice or counsel. So she counseled her mom, and she was often able to counteract to the benefit of them all, and this helped them all. She counteracted the eagerness of mind in Mrs. Dashwood. So it sounds like Mrs. Dashwood was very eager in her mind, which led to imprudence. Imprudence, I suppose they mean she does things very rashly, kind of too quickly, she rushes and makes bad judgments to her detriment. And it sounds like Eleanor, this 19-year-old daughter, is more cool in her reasoning, and she's able to, as I mentioned, counteract her mom's eagerness or her rashness. She, I suppose, refers to Eleanor. She had an excellent heart. Her disposition was affectionate, so she was very kind in her personality. Her feelings were strong, but she knew how to govern them. She knew how to limit her strong feelings. That could be a positive or a negative thing, right? I suppose they mean it's negative here, though, because she knew how to govern her strong feelings. And it was a knowledge, the knowledge of her ability to govern. That knowledge was something her mom hadn't learned, and a skill that her sisters had resolved. They promised themselves that they would never be taught that. The word resolved comes out on the SAT a lot. It's probably useful for you to write it down now. Resolve is or resolution, which is the noun form, means to make a really strong decision. You probably know the word from like a New Year's resolution, right? To resolve. I promise this year to study really hard for the SAT. That's a resolution. You resolve to do it. Okay, so we have a picture in our mind of this lovely Eleanor who balances out her mom's rashness. What's true about Eleanor? She often argues with her mother. Kill it right away. We did not see anything about arguing. And notice that I save a lot of time because I don't read all the rest of it. If I'm really 100% sure that argue is not there, I'm just done reading it and I move on. Eleanor can be overly sensitive with regard to family matters. It sounds quite negative, but we have mostly a positive picture, so B is also out. Eleanor thinks, this is C now, Eleanor thinks her mother is a bad role model. Maybe it sounds true, but it's not in the passage, so you can't pick it. Has to be directly there. You have to be able to put your finger on it. You're going to kill C2. D, Eleanor is remarkably mature for her age. Absolutely, she is. She's only 19, it says right there, but she's quite mature, and she's able to counsel her mother in many ways in life. Final answer, D.